Irish Thunder, there is a mighty difference in height here. Velimurad obviously is going to want to minimize that by getting in close to his opponent, ideally with him on top. The Saint, of course, wants to stay in the outside, very wisely backing up. Had he continued to move forward, he would have gotten taken down, I guarantee it. Velimurad would have gotten that read very quickly and would have put him on his back. Very slick opening for the fighter from Zimbabwe.
As we know in mixed martial arts, the best way to negate a height difference is to take your opponent down, get to a position and smash. And that is something Velimurad Alkhasov has been an expert at so far during the course of his Brave Combat Federation career.
The Saint doing a good job of, woo!
The speed with which he threw up that
kick was lightning. Lifted in the air, Bruce Lee style. And again, he backs up, Phil. He's not going to stalk forward. He's not going to move into that takedown.
It's a very, very smart strategy being implemented by Hwende here in his Brave Combat Federation debut. And what a, oh! Just shy with the head kick, but in doing so, offense has been, and back up.
Not a lot of people expected that one.
That is a huge coup for Hwende.
Big moment for him in the judges' scorecard. It's also a big moment for him in terms of his confidence.
6-0 as a professional. 4 of his wins coming by way of finish. 3 via KO or TKO. 1 via submission. Largely untested in the South African MMA scene and really wanted to make that step up in competition, but be careful what you ask for, because you find yourself in the cage with the 2016 World Combat Sambo champion Velimurad Alkhasov.
Velimurad is landing some nasty shots from this clinch position. It's a neutral position, but Velimurad clearly has the advantage here.
Nice little shots to the body, but Hwende doing a really good job of defending the takedown and showing just how strong he is.
He's got his hands gripped. Typically when the opponent doesn't, that can set up a takedown.
Velimurad has competed the majority of his career at flyweight. Hwende is an
arm throw and again denied.
Hwende being the natural bantamweight, does he potentially hold that natural strength advantage? But beautiful, almost Tamala style elbow from Velimurad.
Velimurad digging into those short, sharp shots to the ribs.
That's easy for you to say. Say it 3 times quickly.
Always in the dominant position. Throw them knees.
Not unlike the Abbas Khan, Omar Hussein fight. A lot of this taking place against the cage, and Hwende giving a really solid account of himself so far in the opening round.
Hwende, having denied both of those takedowns, must be feeling very happy with himself. His fear, of course, was to get put in his back and held there for nearly the entire 5-minute round. That hasn't happened. That said, Velimurad is doing the better job from the clinch. It's a neutral position, but he's causing more damage. Ooh, a little shoulder shot. You don't see that every fight.
A little bit of a cut over, more so a graze over the right eye of Velimurad, I think. Not quite sure when that happened. I would really like to see Hwende disengage and continue to fight at that distance, utilize his height, utilize his range.
He may be trying to feel everything his opponent has, Phil. May want to test himself everywhere. As you said, he didn't feel like he'd been challenged in South Africa, Southern Africa, and now he is reaching out across the globe. Looks like a knee went errantly a little bit low. I don't see a lot of harm in that. I don't think any foul will be called, but certainly the Vanilla Gorilla will have a little word with the man from Zimbabwe.
Make sure to put the man from Zimbabwe in the neutral corner. It's never something you like to see, but it's something that happens, you know, not with great frequency in mixed martial arts, thankfully, but sometimes when these fighters are fighting in close quarters and they're trying to pick their shots, there's only certain places it can go when you're in those close quarters, and it goes at that upward trajectory.
Another difficult factor is from that over-under, from that 50-50, you cannot see the hips. You're throwing that knee forward, believing you know where the groin is, but you don't always. That's what we saw right there, and we've seen
lightning.
third denied takedown attempt or the first successful one. It is the latter.
Timing and speed on that takedown from Velimurad was fantastic. Didn't give Hwende any kind of time to settle back into the fight, and like we said in the Abbas Khan fight, when the fight is very, very close like this, if you score a takedown, but Hwende
again
back up
makes
to
it up
his feet.
before taking any significant damage.
Hey, Carrick, this is incredible because the criticism we have had about fighters from the African continent has been the fact that a lot of the time there's a little bit of a discrepancy in the wrestling.
The wrestling is not typically where these fighters excel. Oh, big shots coming in.
But Hwende is putting that stereotype to bed with this kind of performance. I don't think anybody was expecting that at all.
Absolutely terrific round for Hwende. I don't think he did enough to pull it out. I see it as a 9-10 round in favor of Velimurad Alkhasov. But that said, I think the Saint should go back to that corner being very, very happy. He knows if he gets taken down, he can stand back up because he did it over and over again. Courtesy of Green Hill, we're going to get a look at. There was the takedown. A kick actually flew over the top of Velimurad's head. He was able to get in on that leg. It was shortly thereafter denied. Nice defense against a knee from the over-under.
That's a beautiful
There's that
takedown attempt, but denied.
drop Sewanagi. The Saint certainly showing terrific ability to stand up from those takedowns. I think based on that knowledge, he's going to start setting down on his shots, trying to land a little bit harder punches in this round. However, he's got to stay moving. He's got to stay on that bicycle, has to stay circling around.
And Carrick, I'm not quite sure if it's just the lighting in here, but the right eye of Hwende seems to be starting to swell up a little bit.
I believe, Phil, that was from an elbow. Velimurad, not tall, but he's got incredible speed when he's tied up. He throws shots so fast they can be a little hard to see even when you're staring at the fight, but they land with visible effect.
Second round of our co-main event. Nicholas Hwende making his Brave Combat Federation debut. Velimurad Alkhasov making his bantamweight debut in Brave Combat Federation.
Hwende stalking, trying to land those lightning kicks. Velimurad threw a nasty little combination from the inside.
So far, Hwende doing a really good job of keeping Velimurad. He's doing a great job. As soon as he thinks there's potentially giving up a little bit of space here, he just retreats a little bit. Re-establishes the distance. It's very, very smart.
Hwende may want to switch up his kicking attack just a little bit. Most of it's come in with that rear leg. May want to try and use that front leg to effect.
I'd like to see him box a little bit more. Try and keep Velimurad at the end of the punches.
He just shifted.
Has to be careful not to chase, but Velimurad just looked to his corner and took a very deep breath. I don't know if that was resetting or if maybe a little bit of frustration perhaps, but definitely don't believe it to be fatigue because Velimurad is one of the best conditioned fighters in Brave Combat Federation.
If I had to guess, Phil, and it's just a guess, I think he's a little bit thrown off by the speed and the limb length. Typically when you fight a taller fighter, they're not as fast as you are, and you have that. In this situation, we've got the exact opposite. You've got a taller fighter, bigger reach, and he's quicker.
Good job to dig in for the underhook, but Velimurad like a dog with a bone with a takedown. Oh, beautiful work, just turned the corner. It was outstanding, and I'm not quite sure, but I think
Velimurad trying to move to mount.
Yeah, that eye is really starting to give Hwende some problems.
He's passed to full side control now, Brave Nation.
Hwende trying to free him and get back up, but Velimurad doing everything he can to be a fire blanket here and trying to extinguish the momentum of Hwende.
Looking for a back take. Not successful so far. Back to standing. The Saint now wants to separate. Doesn't want to move forward too methodically, or that's exactly what's going to happen.
North-south position now, and Alkhasov does not waste any time in these positions. Hwende trying to get in on a leg of Velimurad.
It's not a wise move. He wants to stand, get that right underhook, and separate.
Trip takedown potentially coming here. Beautiful work from Velimurad. And sumptuously just cuts through into mount. Hwende giving up the back. This is dangerous.
Hwende trying to throw his opponent forward. Hips are pretty well placed.
Both hooks established now. Hwende being forced to carry the weight. Velimurad another trip takedown, but the
slick little switch.
1 minute 30 seconds. 1 minute 30 seconds.
love those little short elbows that
they are landing with big effect.
Nick. One step at a time.
Very interesting. Watch the technique develop in this fight. Velimurad wasn't able to take his opponent down. He evolved that a little bit. Doesn't get it the first time. He's going to go in a second time.
Watch your head, Nick.
Focusing very hard on putting his opponent's back flat against the Brave Combat Federation cage.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute.
potential for it. Thought momentarily Velimurad was going to work for a Von Flue, but Hwende trying to get in on the single of his own. Personally, I'd like to see him disengage and throw some big shots. Not far away with a knee, and he's opened up a big cut on the face of Velimurad.
Looks like they may be learning a little bit from each other. Some of those short, sharp punches and elbows that are so characteristic of Velimurad's game, we're now seeing from the Saint. And again, the Saint learned, Phil. That takedown worked in a previous round. He learned, he evolved, didn't work that time.
Oh, the timing. The timing on that takedown was absolutely exquisite.
Look up timing in the dictionary. That's what you're going to see.
Well, no, that's not what you're going to see. It's going to be a definition of the word timing, but that's neither here nor there, Carrick. But genuinely, all jokes aside, to bait Hwende into sitting down on the punches because he knew he needed to do something definitive. Velimurad so intelligently let Hwende come on to that takedown, and enough to win the round, perhaps, Carrick?
As we're watching this excellent replay of the round 2 action, Phil, is there any question in your mind that that was a 10-9 round in favor of Velimurad?
No, the dominance of that round for me belonged to Velimurad. Work he was doing in the clinch, the positions he had established, essentially blanket side control at one stage, finished with a beautiful takedown.
If you're correct, Phil, and I think you are, that means we are now looking at a 20-18 round. That means the only way, in all likelihood, that the Saint can win is via a stoppage by submission, not real likely, or a stoppage by strikes, much more likely. I believe that's what his corner told him. That said, it's very hard to come out and look for a knockout because in order to do that, your position, your hips, you got to commit to it. The hips sink down a little bit. The footwork isn't as fluid. He's got a very tough round ahead of him.
He may not know much about dictionaries, but he knows everything about mixed martial arts. And on the single leg is Velimurad again. And a little bit of 50-50. Needs to be wary of an inverted triangle here. Can't quite see if the arm is locked in. The arm is in.
The arm is in place. But Velimurad has been in this position literally thousands of times. Certainly there's no danger of a submission here yet.
Trying to tighten that
the Saint wisely trying to pull that foot in tighter.
Oh, huge knee.
Phenom knee.
He tried to throw an uppercut. A Velimurad with a jumping knee. this fight, if you are a fan of mixed martial arts, you are in the right place. This is Brave Combat Federation 71.
And if you're a fan of mixed martial arts, you are already a fan of Velimurad Alkhasov, and you are a new fan of Nicholas the Saint Hwende.
Hwende giving such a solid account of himself, but like we say, beautiful takedown by Velimurad. Hwende needs to do something, maybe a little bit of divine intervention needed for the Saints here tonight.
Could come in the form of a knee!
Oh, not far away. Mixed martial arts being a game of inches and head movement on the ground. Velimurad, I'm tired watching these guys kick.
Velimurad's hands are a little bit low, Phil.
Not quite sure if the shot.
Single, he's going to get it, and then his opponent's going to stand up.
The little mini battles within this 3-round fight has been so intriguing to watch. One hook in for Velimurad.
Velimurad's had
Both
no difficulty getting into the single, some taking it to the ground. He's now taking it to the next level. He got into the single, he took it to the ground, and now he's got a dominant position. The single most dominant position in the sport. Back mount. Did he rare
Throwing
heel kick to the
strikes.
body from there.
Velimurad, it's almost like he has downloaded the cheat codes or something. He's throwing the secret moves here. I'd like to see him switch to perhaps a body triangle just to constrict and restrict the movement of Hwende.
His legs are not the longest. It's possible against a larger
There it
opponent.
is.
That's not available fully to him.
Well, he just made you look very silly.
It is fully in place.
And right now, in the depth of the 3rd round, this is bound to be so draining for Hwende. Every breath that he takes and every breath that he lets out is going to make that body triangle just a little bit tighter.
The Saint wants to take that arm and pass it over his head. Then there's no choke from a danger. No danger from a choke. Velimurad clearly saw that coming, abandoned, and is very content, as well he should be, to take control from the back, continue landing shots, continue threatening the choke.
Velimurad continuing with those little heel strikes to the stomach, but now Hwende on top.
Excellent move by Hwende. I believe he timed those little kicks to the body, timed them, and caught the foot coming up to land one, escaped.
1 minute 15 seconds with which to work for Hwende, defending the takedown right now. He needs separation. He needs to get into the open forum of the Brave Arena. Another big takedown for Velimurad. Again, switches to back control. 1 hook, 2 hook. I think the cut is there's a cut right on the eyelid of Velimurad.
The Saint showing great poise here. He's clearly put in his years on the mats against a superior submission artist, a submission master like Velimurad. He's completely calm, very ably defending himself from that choke. Should he stand up in the next 28 seconds, Phil, he doesn't want to stand up into a clinch. He wants to separate.
20 seconds, it's do or die for the Saint right now. Velimurad, so intelligent. His fight IQ has been absolutely through the roof in this fight. And it looks like we will be going to the judges' decision, Carrick, but what a fight. It had absolutely everything. It had some incredible striking, some beautiful grappling exchanges. Velimurad Alkhasov finishes in the dominant position, and that potentially fight of the night.
The two fighters are embracing in the ring. They're kneeling next to each other. That was a terrific battle, Brave Nation. They showed you, they gave you everything they've got. And Velimurad, once again, as he does very nearly always, proved he was the better fighter tonight. He faced a fighter with some very, very scary attributes. Terrific footwork, lightning fast kicks. He appeared to struggle with those early on, and then he found his range. He managed to keep it in close enough to pick up that single leg, or far enough away and moving away, so if a kick got through, he was moving away from it. The timing wouldn't be enough to knock his lights out. Very disappointed. Nicholas the Saint. Hwende standing in his corner. He has nothing to be disappointed about. He put on a terrific performance. I hope very much to see him again in the Brave Combat Federation cage. Ideally against an opponent that will allow an exchange of those lightning fast kicks and punches.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 incredible rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have scored the bout 30-27 in favor of your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Velimurad